Welcome back to Dinar, Current, your source for all things related to the Iraqi dinar. In recent years, if you've spent any time in investment forums or on social media, you've probably seen the buzz. The big question everyone seems to be asking is, why are so many Americans buying Iraqi dinar? Is it a secret investment strategy? A get-rich-quick scheme? Or something else entirely? Today, we're diving deep to uncover the real reasons behind this fascinating trend. We'll explore the hype, the hope, and the hard realities that every potential investor needs to know. So, stick around as we separate fact from fiction. Let's start with the basic appeal. Why the Iraqi dinar? Well, for decades, the dinar has been one of the most undervalued currencies on the planet. Its value has been suppressed by years of conflict, international sanctions back in the 90s, and a slow, ongoing process of economic rebuilding. Because of this, many investors look at the dinar and see a hidden gem. They see a currency with massive potential for growth, just waiting for Iraq to find its footing politically and economically. It's this potential for a huge upside that really gets people excited. Now, why are Americans, in particular, so drawn to this? First, you have to understand American investment culture. There's a strong appetite for high risk, high reward opportunities. From tech startups to cryptocurrency, many retail investors are constantly on the lookout for the next big thing that could deliver substantial gains. Buying an undervalued foreign currency like the dinar fits perfectly into this mindset. It's accessible, the barrier to entry is low, and the story is compelling. You don't need a massive amount of capital to get started. You can buy dinar in small amounts from online dealers, making it available to just about anyone. This leads us to the core concept driving most of these purchases, the revaluation, or RV. This is the belief, or hope, that the Iraqi government will one day officially increase the value of the dinar against the US dollar, and do so dramatically. We're talking about a potential jump from its current rate to something much higher. And fueling this belief is a powerful engine of word-of-mouth and social media hype. YouTube channels, online forums, and private groups are filled with discussions and predictions. You hear stories of people who are supposedly positioned to become overnight millionaires. While these tales are almost always exaggerated, they create a powerful sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. Pulls more and more people in. So let's be crystal clear. The number one reason Americans are buying Iraqi dinar is speculation. This isn't about planning a trip to Baghdad or engaging in international trade. People are buying dinar as an asset, pure and simple, with the hope that its value will skyrocket in the future. The logic is straightforward. An investor buys dinar today at a very low rate, say around 1,300 dinar for every $1. They then hold on to it, waiting for the revaluation. The dream scenario is that the dinar revalues to something like 1-to-1 with the dollar. If that were to happen, they could exchange their dinar back into dollars for a massive profit. But here's the critical thing to remember. This is pure speculation. There is absolutely no guarantee that a revaluation will ever happen, which makes this a very high-risk gamble, not a safe, guaranteed investment. Of course, the speculation isn't built on nothing. There are some long-term economic factors that give investors a reason to be optimistic about Iraq's future. First and foremost, Iraq is an oil-rich nation. It holds some of the largest proven oil reserves in the entire world. If the country can maintain and increase its oil exports, that revenue could theoretically stabilize the economy and provide strong support for the dinar. On top of that, since 2003, Iraq has been slowly rebuilding its institutions, including its banking and financial systems. Experts agree that continued reforms in these areas are essential for supporting a stronger currency down the road. Another positive sign is Iraq's gradual reintegration into the global financial community. Getting fully connected with systems like SWIFT and participating in IMF programs could make the dinar more stable and widely accepted. But even with these positive indicators, experts are quick to issue warnings. Persistent political instability, widespread corruption, and the economy's heavy reliance on oil prices are all major hurdles that make the dinar a risky bet. Beyond the economics, there are powerful psychological and social forces at play. For many, Investing in the dinar taps into the universal get-rich-quick dream. It's the allure of turning a small, manageable investment into a life-changing amount of money. In this excitement, it's easy for retail investors to underestimate the risks and focus only on the potential rewards. The social aspect is just as powerful. When you join online communities and see hundreds or thousands of other people all sharing the same belief, it creates a strong bandwagon effect. People start buying the dinar not because they've done deep economic research, but simply because it feels like everyone else is doing it. There's a sense of shared purpose and excitement. For some, it's also a hope-driven investment. Buying dinar is an expression of optimism, a belief that peace and stability will ultimately prevail in Iraq, unlocking the nation's true economic potential. While the dream of a massive payout is exciting, it's crucial that we talk about the risks, which are often overlooked in the hype. First, political and economic instability is a constant threat. Iraq has a long history of turbulence, and currency revaluation is highly unlikely to happen without a long, sustained period of political calm and effective governance. Second, the dinar's value is almost entirely dependent on oil. If global oil prices dropped, Iraq's government revenue plummets, which would have a devastating impact on its economy and the strength of the dinar. There's no economic diversity to cushion that blow. Third, there's a lack of liquidity. The Iraqi dinar isn't a major currency traded on global forex markets. This means that if you're holding a large amount, selling it quickly and at a good price can be extremely difficult. You can't just log into a standard brokerage account and click sell. And we have to talk about the risk of scams. Because the dinar market is largely unregulated for retail buyers, there are many unofficial dealers who might overcharge you with huge markups, or even worse, sell you counterfeit bills. Many hopeful investors have lost their money, not because the dinar didn't revalue, but because they fell victim to a fraudulent scheme. Finally, even if a revaluation were to happen someday, the timeline is completely uncertain. It could take many more years, or even decades, and the final value is anyone's guess. It's not a guaranteed one-to-one scenario. The reality could be far more modest. So, what do the professional financial experts really say about all this? If you ask mainstream economists or financial advisors, you'll hear a consistent message of caution. They'll tell you that buying Iraqi dinar is speculative and extremely risky. They'll emphasize that there is absolutely no guarantee of a revaluation or massive profits, and they'll point out that significant structural, political, and economic reforms must happen first before the dinar could ever appreciate in a meaningful way. In short, while buying dinar is popular among a specific group of retail investors, it's not considered a safe or reliable investment by the broader financial community. For those who do decide to buy, how do they typically do it? Most Americans purchase physical dinar bills through a few common channels. The most popular are online currency dealers' websites that specialize in selling and shipping exotic currencies. Some people find local currency exchange shops, though these are less common, and many purchases are facilitated through investment groups or online forums, where members share information about where and how to buy. If you're ever considering this, the number one piece of advice from experts is to do your homework. Verify the authenticity of the dealer, check reviews, and understand all the fees involved to avoid getting scammed. So, if we had to boil it all down to one sentence, what's the real reason Americans are buying Iraqi dinar? It is this. Americans buy Iraqi dinar primarily out of hope for a massive return on their investment if the currency revalues. A hope that is driven by speculation, optimism about Iraq's oil-rich future, and the powerful influence of online communities. This is not about using the currency for travel or trade. It is a purely investment-driven decision, and one that is loaded with risk. In conclusion, the fascination with the Iraqi dinar is a powerful mix of hope, speculation, and the dream of hitting it big. Iraq certainly has incredible long-term potential thanks to its vast oil wealth and the slow but steady process of reform. However, the path to realizing that potential is filled with obstacles, making the dinar a highly volatile and risky investment today. Before anyone decides to jump in, it is absolutely crucial to understand that revaluation is not a certainty. You must be aware of the deep-seated political and economic instability in the region. And if you do buy, only do so through reputable, verified dealers, and treat it for what it is: a high-risk speculative play, not a guaranteed path to wealth. Ultimately, chasing high returns is tempting, but knowing the facts and understanding the risks is the only way to make smart financial decisions. Thanks for joining us on Dinar Current. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. We'll see you in the next video.